Here with James Nicholas. James, the U.S. Open. I mean, what can you say? How does it feel?
I don't think it's sunken in yet. We just got back. I drove in the car with my fiance about an hour and a half from New Jersey back to my house in Scarsdale, where I grew up. And I mean, yeah, that was an interesting car ride. Just looking through the texts from friends and family. I remember one of my buddies actually just texted me. He goes, "Remember when we were 13 years old and we went and saw Gavin Hall birdie his last 5 holes to make the U.S. Open?" And I was like, that's so crazy because at that time, is Ethan Bunzel, who was actually a buddy of Josh Goldenberg, who you know well. The three of us were on the high school golf team, and we would do everything together. But just to think back to that moment of watching somebody go and do it, and then today, do it, is just it's a dream come true. It's something I've dreamed for a really long time.
I mean, you touched on Josh. I mean, a high school teammate who has quit pro golf and then gets through yesterday. You get through today. I mean, it has to be. I've talked to Josh about it as you were coming in. I mean, what a cool moment for a great friend. And I
Yeah,
mean,
I
you guys to share a moment like this together, obviously.
I've been telling Josh for the longest time that he's too good to quit golf and go work at Goldman. He hits the ball too well. He's gotten way better on the greens on the green. So I'm so stoked to see him play in his first PGA Tour sanctioned event or PGA Tour event. He's that caliber golfer. So I'm excited to watch him play this week and then to go out and qualify today. And we have a really good group of friends out in South Florida now that my buddy Christian Cavalieri, he qualified for the U.S. Open a couple years ago, and a lot of us went. I couldn't go, but a lot of our friends went out and watched him play in the U.S. Open, and hopefully a lot of them are come out and watch me. I guess it's next week. It's
Yeah.
crazy to think, right, that you're gonna be teaming up at Oakmont next week. But yeah, it's to grow up with these kids like Christian and like Josh, and then to see everybody do so well and succeed is, I mean, that's what you play for. It's what you live for.
I mean, you felt pressure numerous times in your career, James. What was it like? How do you compare it to what you felt coming down the stretch today?
I had about I would say between 60 and 80 people watching, and I got a really cool picture of me walking with the gallery in the back. My brother's leading the charge behind me. But I kind of fed off of their energy. My fiance, America, she was there from the start. And to start the day, it was rocky. I must have hit every tree on property in the first 6 holes and was chipping out sideways and then getting up and down from 100 yards and then just got into a rhythm. And it was more of a, okay, trust yourself, trust the process, and, let go of these nerves because it doesn't matter if you miss by 100, just send it. And then my mom came, then my brother came, and then some people from Scarsdale came, and then felt like the whole MGA, Metropolitan Golf Association, was out there following me for my last couple holes. And every time I saw an official, they'd be like, "Let's go, keep going, keep going." And it calmed the nerves. It felt like I had an army behind me, and that's what it takes, right? It's when you succeed, you feel like, you don't feel like it's all you, but you're the one that's getting interviewed. You're the one that's in front of the camera, but it truly takes a village. And my fiance has been there with me. She walked all 4 rounds last week in Raleigh, and then she walked 36 holes today. Then my parents are here. My friends and family are here, and that's what keeps me going. That's honestly what I was able to make it through today.
James, do you look at this? I mean, you've played on the DP World Tour, you've had success, you've had struggles, and as I say many times, 90% of pro golfers go through exactly what you're going through. Do you look at this as part of the progression, or do you not look at it like that? Just like, hey, this is awesome. I'm going to enjoy the US Open. Or as you play better and your career advances and you get to be a better player, do you just look at this as a step in this process?
It's exactly that. Last year on the DP World Tour was a big step for me. It's my first season with full status on any tour. I was always a conditional guy on Corn Ferry, and just playing, here and there when I got in. And last year, started the year really nicely, made 3 cuts in a row to start, almost had a win, and then finished fifth in Italy. And then after that fifth place in Italy, things went downhill really quickly. I missed, I think, 9 of my next 10 cuts. And again, you go from I remember this dinner with my fiance in Italy. We were having this dinner, be like, "Oh wow, we finished fifth. This is a great week. We're gonna play well forever now. This is like we're gonna lock up our card for next year."
Right.
And then fast forward 6 weeks, you're like, "I'm never gonna play well again. I'm never gonna make a cut again. I'm gonna quit." Like that. No, I never said I'm gonna quit, but it goes into a dark place,
Yeah.
and you
Right.
start searching. And then that just feeds this cycle, right? You start changing things when realistically you're not that far off. And then to look on my career in US Open qualifying, I think I made sectional my first time I was 15 years old, shot 89, 90. And then the next year I made it through again, watched Chris Crawford make an 80 footer in the last hole to make it. Again, that's, I wish this is me. And then you keep going. Last year at Walton Heath, I missed by 3. And then this year, I felt like DP really prepared me for this day. I've had a great year so far on the Cork Ferry Tour. A couple, one top 10, a couple top 25s, and the U.S. Open qualifier is like college golf on steroids. You got 36 holes. It's a mental and physical, beast. And when you're coming down the stretch, it's going to test your true game. And I really felt like my year last year on DP with all the tight OB everywhere and gorse bushes and on the Irish Open and wind and rain just made me a little bit more well-rounded player. And that's what I think. And like you said, it's a stepping stone and just another notch you sort of get to. And that doesn't mean it's not like a vertical staircase. It's
Yeah.
more of the stock market, right? Hopefully you trend up, but you're gonna have some times when it's really, really dark. But as long as you start moving, you keep moving the right direction. That's all it is.
And I assume, James, like you just talked about how you changed some things. Looking back, you probably didn't need to change. And I assume next week is that, right? You shoot 80-80, you take what you can from that, or you make the cut and play well, you take what you can from that. You can't look at it as like, I have to do this or I have to do that. You just have to learn from each step, I assume.
100%. I've worked a lot with mental coaches over the years, and I'm working with Dr. Joe Parent right now. And a lot of the stuff we work on is fear of failure. And it's okay today, right? I could have stood on 17T and started saying, I'm 2 shots clear of the cut or whatever I was. There's out of bounds, right? I'm scared of the out of bounds and focus on, failing rather than, okay, hey, I want to hit a mini driver, tight draw off that tree. And that's what I'm trying to do. So I was really proud of how I did that today. I put that, fear of failure aside and just focus on what I'm trying to do. And like you said, it's so easy to say, let's just stay in the present. Let's do this, let's do that. But we're golfers. We start thinking about all the things. I was thinking about qualifying for the US Open on the 4th hole when I made it up and down for par, and it's like, you got to remind yourself, you got a long, 2 rounds ahead. Let's just chill. And then the whole final round, I'm thinking about what I'm going to say in my interview. But it's bringing yourself back to the present is what makes you a good mental player.
Yeah.
You can let yourself run, you can let yourself think of these things, but if you don't catch yourself and realize that you're doing it, that's when you go down the rabbit hole of maybe that's not so good and leads to some destruction rather than playing well.
Yeah. Well, James, thanks as always. For those listening, James is always willing to do an interview. We've talked a lot over the last 8 months from DP to here. And I always appreciate the time, man. Congratulations. Super happy for you and Josh.
Yeah, no, it's a good week for Scarzo, New York. Not known for its golfers, but we're trying to put Scarzo on the map. It's definitely on the map for golf courses, but
Yeah, right.
the New York natives are doing okay. So yeah, pumped.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks.